Episode 4 of the Amazing Digital Circus gave us a deeper look at Jax, revealing layers of his character that we hadn't seen before. This raises the big question. Where is his story headed in Episode 5? What does the future hold for Jax? Jax is a complicated character. Gooseworx has described him as a big cocktail of internal issues, and that complexity is becoming more apparent with each episode. His relationship with Pomni might also play a role in his development. Perhaps because she's new, he sees a chance to connect with her in a way that he can't with the others. However, Gooseworx has suggested that Pomni may not be as receptive to Jax as she was to characters like Gangle. If that's the case, it could further isolate him, pushing him into an even darker place. While Jax is often perceived as the villain of the group, his story is likely much more nuanced than that. As we move into the next episodes, we may finally get a clearer picture of what's really going on beneath his detached and playful facade. Could Jax become dangerous? There's been speculation about whether Jax could pose a real threat to the other characters, potentially even causing an abstraction. Gooseworx previously included him in a tweet about trigger warnings, which fueled these theories. However, when someone asked if there were any lines Jax wouldn't cross, she confirmed, "Yeah, there are a few lines he won't cross." This suggests that while Jax may become more volatile, he likely won't take things to an irredeemable level. That said, we've already seen subtle signs that he's not entirely indifferent to others. In Episode 4, when Gangle remarked, "Is the clock broken, or are we the broken ones?" Jax's expression showed that the comment struck a nerve. He might not outwardly acknowledge it, but moments like this suggest he's more self-aware than he lets on. Will Jax become more emotional? At first glance, it seems unlikely. Jax has always been the type to suppress his emotions rather than confront them. However, as we've seen in previous episodes, repression only works for so long. Episode 4 hinted that he might be reaching his breaking point. Rather than undergoing a dramatic transformation for the better, Jax may instead struggle more with controlling his emotions. The cracks in his tough exterior are becoming more visible, and it's only a matter of time before those emotions surface, whether he wants them to or not. We now know that Episodes 5 and 6 will be shared between Jax and Ragatha, rather than solely focusing on him. This is particularly interesting given the tension between them in Episode 4. Gooseworx has also commented on their dynamic, even jokingly apologizing to bunny doll shippers, those who pair Jax and Ragatha together. When asked if these fans would be disappointed by upcoming episodes, she responded, "Maybe, but they didn't mind when Jax threw Ragatha in the deep fryer, so I don't really know how they think." This suggests that while their interactions will continue to be significant, they may not take the turn that some fans are hoping for. Their personalities are fundamentally different. Ragatha is focused on maintaining harmony, while Jax deliberately isolates himself. They're both dealing with the same struggles, but in opposite ways. If Ragatha tries to understand him or push him to open up, it could backfire. Jax's defenses might crack under pressure, leading to unpredictable and possibly extreme reactions. Interestingly, Episode 4 also hinted that Jax might crave human connection more than he admits. When greeting Pomni with a casual, "Hey, how you doing?" or when he unexpectedly apologized after breaking Gangle's mask, we saw glimpses of something beneath his usual smug demeanor. This was particularly notable because, in previous episodes, Jax would go out of his way to mess with Gangle. This time, however, he defended himself to Ragatha, insisting he didn't mean to do it. It's possible that this was a self-preservation tactic, especially considering how he was tied up by Ragatha and Gangle in Episode 3. Gooseworx humorously responded to a Tumblr question about how they managed to overpower him, saying, "I guess they just jumped him when his guard was down. I don't know. I wasn't there." Later in Episode 4, we saw him exhausted after his shift at Spudsy, finally letting his guard down. This moment, though brief, reinforced the idea that Jax isn't as invulnerable as he pretends to be. What episode 5 could reveal? We now know that episode 5 will take place in a stadium, featuring some kind of sports-themed adventure. This could be as uncomfortable for Jax as the fast food challenge in episode 4. Given his clear lack of enthusiasm for teamwork, this setting might push him even further out of his comfort zone. One of the most intriguing details is that we'll finally get to see Jax's room, something that has remained a mystery until now. This could provide valuable insight into who he is when he's truly alone, without the persona he puts on for others. What do you think will happen next for Jax? Let me know in the comments. Stay tuned for more updates, and I'll see you in the next one. Piece by piece.